Hello everyone, welcome to the introduction of ChromeST. I made a slide for this presentation. Let's open the slide. Here is the slide. Let me open my web camera. This is my web camera. Okay. For the presentation, there are three parts. First, we introduce the background for ChromeST, which might be new to most users. That's why we make this video. Later, I talk about the installation and the usage of ChromeST. I do so by sharing my phone screen. For the last part, there is a tutorial for writing a user script to remove YouTube advertisement, which will give you a basic idea how ChromeST could help you. Let's start the presentation. What is ChromeST? ChromeST is a tiny module for Android that adds user script, DevTools, and some other functions to Chromium-based and WebView-based mobile browsers. First question, what is Xpose? Xpose is a framework helping developers to modify Android application. Currently, the most popular Xpose framework is LXpose. Let's have a look at LXpose. This is the homepage of LXpose. In the introduction, it's written that Xpose is a framework for modules that can change the behavior of the system or applications without touching any APKs. So ChromeST is just one of such modules. ChromeST itself is quite small. The size is less than 0.1 megabytes. Both ChromeST and LXpose are open source projects powered by Pure Love. What are user scripts? User scripts enable users to modify websites in their browsers. We can have a look at the Wikipedia page of user script. They are usually written in JavaScript. They're designed for modifying web pages, and such as the shortcut buttons or keyboard shortcuts, controlling playback speeds and so on, many other features. User scripts are supported by most desktop browsers, but only very few mobile browsers. Popular user script managers include TemperMonkey, VioletMonkey, and both of them are extensions for browsers. People usually share their user scripts on GraceFork or GitHub. Let's have a look at GraceFork. This is GraceFork. You can find scripts for many popular websites such as YouTube. There is a huge list of user scripts you can install. At the first place, ChromeXT works as a user script manager so that you can run user script from your mobile browsers. Second question, what are DevTools? DevTools help developers to inspect, modify, and debug websites in browsers. So if you never heard about the DevTools, let's have a look at it. This is the Chrome DevTools. In the overview part, there is a video introducing DevTools. You can have a look. I'm going to introduce it by opening Google Chrome. Let's open a web page and open the DevTools from the menu. There are many panels in the DevTools, such as Elements, Network, and Application. Let's look at the Elements first. It helps you to inspect elements of the web page. For example, we can change the text here to art. When you change it, it changes here also. There is a network panel where you can record network traffics and inspect the request, also the response. For the application panel, you can inspect the local storage of the website. Here there is a volume light. If I change the website to dark or auto, the volume is going to be auto. So DevTools are very powerful tools. They are used for hacking or finding weakness of websites. As for websites in mobile phones, usually one need to connect their phones with desktop browsers. I can do so. Let me share my phone screen. This is my phone screen. So I open my phone and open the browser. Let's open a web page. Okay, I have no internet. No internet should be connected. Oh. Okay, let's go back to the Chrome browser. We can inspect it from Chrome. Okay, here is the click on inspect, and we can do what we have done before, such as inspecting elements or recording network requests and changing application data. This is how to use DevTools using desktop browsers. What Chrome XT do that is that you can now use DevTools directly from your mobile phones without a desktop browser. I can show it later. So finally, which browsers are supported by Chrome XT? There are Chromium-based browsers such as Chrome. Also, we have the Edge browser. Going to search for application. For WebView browsers, there are VR browser and Soul browsers and so on. We're going to try Soul browser. There are browsers that are not supported, including Firefox, which is not based on Chromium XT, based on Chromium, and the Shanghai Internet Browser, Opera. They are based on Chromium, but the code has changed too much, so I give up the support for them. Now let's say how to install Chrome XT. It depends on whether you are root users. If you never heard about the root user, then you are not a root user. We can currently to root your phone is not difficult. You can have a look at the Wikipedia page, which talk about how to root in your Android phone. Usually people use Magisk. Okay, my phone is already rooted, so I'm going to show how to install ChromeD for root users. We open the Magisk Manager and install the LSPOS module. When you install it, you can open the LSPOS Manager and search for the Chrome XT module. You find it and you download it and then install it. Once installed, we can enable it for the browser we would like to. So I enable it for Chrome. Also, we enable it for Soul. This is for root users. It's very simple. For non-root users, one need to use LSPatch to change the target browser APK and embed the Chrome XT. Let's download the LSPatch. We download LSPatch from GitHub Actions. To use GitHub Action, you need to have a GitHub account and login. We download the LSPatch release. Also, we download the Chrome XT. This is the Chrome XT. We download it from GitHub Action. What we download are archive files. Let's extract them. So we have downloaded 2 files. We extract them. After extracting, there are 3 files: the Chrome xtsign APK, a jar file, and a manager APK. If you have Java installed on your desktop, you can use the jar file to patch target APK. Otherwise, one can use the manager APK from their phone to patch the target browser. I will do both of them. So let's download the APK first. I'm going to try Bromide, which is based on Chromium. So we download this. See? It's still downloading. It takes some time. So let's install a manager for now. Let's go back to our phone. So when manager is installed, we can find it here. Its name is LSPatch. We open it and add the directory to put the patched APK file. Now we choose to patch the Edge browser. Okay, change start. When the patching is done, to install it, we need to uninstall the original application because the signature has changed. Now we find the patch directory. It's download LSPatch for me. So I install it. Continue, install. So Edge browser will be installed. Also, now it's still downloading. Now it's downloaded. Once it's downloaded, we can use the jar file to patch it. We're going to use the m argument. Okay, let's try m argument. ChromeXT signed. The target application is ARM. So it's patched and the output is an APK. We install it to our phone. That's it. That's how we install ChromeXT with the LSPatch. It will be now it's installed. LS Bromide. So once the installation is done, let's have a look how to use it. ChromeXT is fully integrated into the target browser, so almost all interactions are done within the browser. First thing, how to install user script. There are 3 ways. First, you can open any user.js URLs. Let's take an example. So we're going to search some user script from GitHub. Some popular user script. The first one for Bilibili, second one for ChatGPT, third one for translation. We're going to try the third one. He provides an URL ends with .user.js. We install it. We click on it. And there's a promote asks us to install it. We click OK. Okay, now it's installed. We can have a look. This is the script we just installed. And we change it to UI to English. Okay, now the UI is changed to English. We go back, and you can use this user script to translate your web page using many different services, such as Microsoft Translator and so on. You can try it by your own. There are other ways to install user scripts. If you have user script from your phone, we can install it directly. So I have some user script in documents, user script. We open the file with the ChromeXT. So, okay, wait, open the file with the ChromeXT. Here you get the promote to install this user script. We can click OK, and the script will be installed. The other way set every done, we're going to show it at the end. There are some functions offered by ChromeXT. First, there is a front end to manage and modify installed user script. This is find it. We search ChromeXT on Google. And the second is the front end. We can see that the user script was just installed. It's unlock 500 px. The other function provided in the page menu. For example, we open page menu. There is a book icon. When you click on it, you get a simplified reader mode page. There's also the Eruda console page menu. We click on it, and you get the Eruda page, Eruda console. Also, there is a DevTools menu, but it's located in the front end. We open the front end, and we find the DevTools here. From here, you can inspect web pages as you want. So just as what we have shown from the desktop browser. Now let's go back. There are also settings from developer operation setting. To open it, this setting is usually hidden. We go to version of Chrome, click 8 times. Okay, there is something. Yeah, okay, you can see now it's enabled. When you see the menu, hidden menu, there are options to change configuration by Chromosity, and you can also export the bookmarks here. Some other functions are provided in the Eruda console. Let's go back to Eruda console. This is the Eruda console. First, we have a simple way to block advertisement. That's called the cosmetic filters. To do so, we pick the element in the page, and we click on the component we want to remove. We remove it. Now the element is removed immediately. Also, there is a filter added to the cosmetic filter here. So when it is saved, after refresh the page, okay, this is a method not be saved. Okay, we may need to restart the browser. Okay, so once it is saved, even you restart the browser or refresh the page, that component is still removed. We can remove it to restore the original one. Now the sense is restored. Also, also there is the user agent supervising function provided by. You can configure it from Eruda console. Let's try to present my user agent. This is my user agent, just as the normal one, and we can change it to use Eruda console. Let's change it. Okay, I changed the version number to 999. Okay, click on save. Okay, now it's saved. Now let's refresh the page, and the user agent is changed successfully. Also, you can find the user script comment if you have some user script that provided the comments. We have just removed the script. Let's download it again. Okay. So let's show the user script comments. You can find it from Eruda panel in the resource. And here is the user script panels if you have. So that's the basic function of provided by Chromosity. For some browsers, the configuration might be a little bit different. Let's try Edge browser. We have patched Edge browser. Let's add our module to Edge browser. Okay. We open Edge browser. Take some time. So go to web page, and you can find the Eruda panel from Eruda console menu from here. When you click on it, it's open. If you go to the front end, you can find the developer tools page menu, of course. And for WebView based browser, such as Soul, you can open it. And let's try a page, Wikipedia, such as. We can open the Area panel from here. Here, there is the Area console. We can click on it. Area console is present. That's how you use the basic function of ChromeXD. Of course, in the inspection, of course, if you want to try the developer tools, we need to go to the front end. Here is the front end, and we open the developer tools. Now we can inspect the web pages. And that's it. So this is how I use ChromeXD. Now let's go to the final part. We're going to talk about how to write a user script to hack YouTube service. So YouTube videos, let's go to my channel. Different YouTube videos contains different advertisement and to be played at a different time, as we have experience. But the YouTube page doesn't reload when we switch videos. For example, when you change your video, the page isn't reload, but just the URL is changed. Therefore, advertisement data are fetched from remote for each new video. That's a good point. So what do we need to do? We should find the code that fetching remote advertisement data. Once we find it, we should change the fetched data to clear all advertisement data. Then there should be no advertisement. So let's do it. To do so, we need to inspect the page. So let's open the front end and inspect the YouTube page. So to inspect a network connection, we go to network panel. And we need to refresh page to refresh the original page to record the request. So page is refreshed. And there are very few network requests. Maybe it's because we didn't change the video. So let's change the video. So we change the video, and there are some new requests. These are not interesting. About watching time and QoE doesn't make sense. There is a player. So this URL, what does it give? Let's have a look at the preview part. Okay, we find it. There is the advertisement AD placement property, and there are approximately 5 advertisements. So we have found the request that fetching the remote advertisement data. So next step, we need to find the code that is fetching the data. So we go to initial data. So the latest call should be the one that fetches data. So we got it. So the page is using a fetch function to download the remote data from YouTube server. What should we do? We're going to make a fake fetch function. And once we fetch the data in our function, we remove the data. We clear all the advertisement data. So the page will think that there should be no advertisement to play. By this way, we successfully disable advertisement on YouTube. So we're going to write a user script. Before we start, we say that only partial code will be shown for instructive purpose. Also, this described method is quite new, so currently there is no source code available online, but after this video, I think there should be somebody posted it. Also, I would like to say YouTube Music has the same weakness. You can do the same for YouTube Music. We're going to show it later. So let's start to write a code. I have already written. I'm just going to show my code. This is my user script. User script have some comment block to describe the script. You have the name part, which is the name, and also the match part, which says that this user script should run on pages that has this kind of pattern. and it should be run at when document end, means that it runs when the document is loaded. So let's go to the code for the fetch part. This is the code for the fetch part. So first we define a function that is the original fetch. We bind it with window, so this function is kept. Now we make a fake fetch function. We do so by defining globally fetch. This function has some arguments, so we just give the argument to the original fetch and we get a response. Once we have the response, if the URL is the URL we're looking for, this URL is here, we can have a look for it, have a look at it. So originally it was a network, it's this one. So the URL is present in the information part. It should be okay. It's here. The URL is YouTube v1 player. So we say that once the URL has matched, we make a new data. In this data, the AD placement is empty, and also the player AD is empty. If we have done this, the web page could think that there should be no advertisement to play, and so we can use YouTube without advertisement. As we have said before, YouTube Music also have the same weakness, but for it is not using fetch, it's using XML HTTP request to download the data. We do the same. So once the URL is like this, we clear the AD placement property, and we return back the data to cheat the web page. That's how we use this user script. So once this is done, let's go back and install it. I'm going to install it with the help of Eruda. So in Eruda, in the info panel, there's a section showing that which user script are running currently. We can use the plus button to install user script. So there is the non-UD user.js. We open it and it's installed here. So now the script is installed. Let's have a look. So we have just installed the user script, disable AD's YouTube. Now when you look at YouTube, there should be no advertisement. No matter how many videos you switch, you will never encounter any advertisement. So that's how a user script works. It changes the state of the website. So that's the tutorial. Thanks again for this for this presentation. So don't forget to subscribe our channel for further updates. I may talk about some interesting stuff I have made. See you.